Welcome to StudyAssistant.org audio tutorial. This tutorial is entitled, Group Dynamics. This lesson is part 2 of Group Dynamics. The first part focused on the concepts of groups and teamwork. This part focuses on the management of individuals within groups. You will learn about the leadership aspect of good management and how leaders should deal with conflict within teams. Every team has a leader. Such individual therefore has a certain power that goes along with the leadership position. In a company, a leader, such as the vice president and department heads, has the power over staff. The purpose of the leader is simply to help the others in the group accomplish the goals of the team. Every member serves a purpose in the group towards this common goal. It is therefore up to the leader to put all his effort in making sure the job is done well. Being a leader is not easy. The leadership role often may require some mentoring and teaching. You should note that leaders have to be learners as well, something that would generally happen during their interactions with their associates. Have a look at the seemingly perfunctory exercise of a manager appraising the performance of an employee. The meeting can be an opportunity for the manager to learn more about the employee's strengths, weaknesses, goals, etc. The meeting can turn into one where relationships can develop from this simple dialogue, thus making the leader a mentor instead of a boss. Also, the leader is in the position of helping the employee discover his or her full potential. The question now is, what would make such a person a good leader and thus a good mentor? Several studies have observed great leaders of the past and have come up with a list of characteristics or traits that distinguishes them. They have identified 6 traits: drive, the desire to influence others, honesty and moral character, self-confidence, intelligence, and relevant knowledge. Good leaders show an exceptional drive to achieve the common goal. Such a leader always takes the initiative and never gives up. It is this drive that leads them to seek ways to influence others. Thus, they are aware of words and actions that can help them achieve this end. However, it is the good leader who always ensures this is done in an honest and morally fit manner. Such a leader is able to do all this because they have a strong confidence in their beliefs and knowledge. For this reason, it is the style of the leader that can enable them to have influence on others. Leadership styles include the authoritarian style, do-it-my-way style, the laissez-faire style, do-it-your-way style, and the democratic style, let's-do-it-together style. There has been much debate about which is the best. However, each style has its advantages and disadvantages. Thus the leader should choose a style that fosters interaction among employees, best matches the situation, matches characteristics of work situation, and manages personality. Learn more about these styles by clicking on the exercise on Leadership Styles below. If a leader chooses the wrong style, he may not be able to handle the conflict that normally arises among team members. However, conflict is not always dysfunctional. Sometimes it can stimulate productivity within a group. It is the manager who can lead this conflict to productivity, but first he or she must identify the causes of these conflicts. Causes of conflict can be classified in 2 broad categories: structural or personal. Structural factors of conflict stem from the nature of the organization and the way the various tasks or work is organized. Personal factors of conflict stem from differences among individuals. Here is a map showing the different elements within each factor. When conflict arises, people tend to take sides. Generally, a line is drawn between employers and employees, and both sides seek to gain the upper hand during the period of conflict. Both sides may utilize strategies both inside and outside the company to place pressure on the opposing side. Some examples of strategies that employees use are protests, strikes actions, and work to rule. Trade unions play a major role for employees as well. Employers can relocate or lock out employees. Also, an employer can seek to defeat trade union attempts by controlling training. Refer to the slide for information on how employers and employees gain the upper hand. Needless to say, both employees and their employer need each other. That is why a manager must seek ways to resolve conflicts in the workplace, and resolved conflict can affect the workplace negatively. Conflict can also affect the organization's clients. However, conflict can affect the workers of a company in many ways, such as increased frustration or anxiety among workers. It can cause relationships to strain. Workers could lose valuable sleep over disagreements that could eventually affect their work. Some workers find ways of protesting their anger by withholding valuable information from colleagues, which may create unhealthy competition between colleagues and work groups. Finally, conflict causes low morale and decreases motivation. That is why intervention is important. Intervention is necessary to prevent conflict from spiraling out of control. Here are 5 strategies for conflict resolution and promoting workplace harmony. Note that each accomplishes the job in a varying manner. 1. Avoidance. This is the least effective strategy, especially if the problem could have a long-lasting and detrimental effect. Such a conflict could become harder to resolve in the future. However, if the conflict is short-term, it may have a good chance of resolving on its own. 2. Competition. A party may seek to resolve a conflict at the expense of others. The party makes the conflict a win-lose situation. This is a temporary resolution of the conflict. 3. Accommodation. When a manager seeks to accommodate the needs, wants, and demand of their employee and deny managerial needs, they tend to remove the conflict from view, generating a win-lose situation and effectively hiding the conflict temporarily. 4. Compromise. Both parties in the conflict reach a surface agreement, thus both lose as a 5. Collaboration. Collaboration between all involved in the conflict encourages everyone to show consideration and respect to each other. This enables all involved to work together to find a solution. This strategy seeks a win-win for both sides and is thus the best or healthiest of all strategies, and ensuring the resolution to be stronger. Learn more about the involvement of trade union representation in conflict resolution. Conflict has a real cost to a company. It interrupts production and could cause loss of highly trained employees. It is therefore important that a healthy resolution occurs. However, resolution is not an easy task. Most times it entails extensive communication between both parties involved. Communication can help resolve problems, especially on an interpersonal level where opinions affect behavior, decisions, and the ability to accomplish a task. You can learn more about the communication process and effective communication strategies used within an organization to aid in conflict resolution. This concludes this lesson on group dynamics. There are a number of activities and extra reading material for you at the end of this lesson. Please go through them to help you better understand this lesson.